Amy, what's happening right now?
Well, this is the block of flats behind us where we understand 5 students, all 19 years of age, took the cannabis substitute known as Spice. Students I've spoken to this morning say they saw ambulances and police cars arriving here last night and that they then received an urgent Twitter message from the university asking them to check their friends and dial 999 if they had any concerns.
Well, Amy Welsh is at the event in Alton Park for us. Amy.
Well, this is the closest we can get to the site where we believe the wreckage now lies. A helicopter is flying overhead and this has been a hub of police activity all afternoon. There will now, of course, be a full investigation in order to establish what caused this crash, and the police are asking anybody who took any photographs or video to hand that footage over in order to try and establish exactly what happened here.
Amy Welsh was in court at Preston. Amy, so what did they have to say?
William Roach arrived at Preston Crown Court this morning with his family at his side. The prosecution barrister Anne White QC opened her closing speeches by telling the jury someone is lying.
What have the police said about this arrest?
Well, we understand that Nigel Evans was arrested sometime this morning at his constituency home in Pendleton. That's a Lancashire village around 18 miles from Preston Police Station where we are now and where he's still being questioned. I'm in Ibiza where the father of former Wigan Warriors player Luke Roden is searching for answers over how his son died after being restrained by police. It's 2 weeks since Norman Roden's son died while on holiday in Ibiza, and he's returned to the island to find out for himself what really happened. This footage shows Luke being restrained by police after a night out. How much force they used is unclear.
That's where his last moments were.
Norman Roden returns to the spot where his son lost his life.
And I'm looking around how enclosed the area is. I'm surprised there isn't more witnesses.
But then comes what Norman hopes is a breakthrough. He finds the doctor who treated Luke at the scene. He says he told the police officers restraining him to stop. Were they hitting him with a baton?
Yes.
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 With a lot of force?
Yes. The police was catching him through the neck. So I called to them and I said, you cannot do that because he's not going to breathe well.
Well, the shutters are down at Cilla Black's villa here in Spain, and her 3 sons have asked that we respect their privacy at this difficult time. We understand that Spanish police were called here at around 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and it was later confirmed that Cilla Black had passed away at the age of 72. Good evening and welcome to the news and sport from ITV Granada. A woman with a rare illness which causes her face and body to swell up says a life-changing operation is her only hope. Christy Newport from Preston needs to raise £12,000 to pay for stem cell treatment in America. Fear is the word that unites these anti-fracking campaigners behind me. Fear of the unknown and fear over their futures. Today was meant to be D-Day here in Preston, but instead it has yet again ended in disappointment as the council deferred their decision over whether or not fracking should take place on the Fylde coast. You can see behind me there really has been a carnival atmosphere outside County Hall, but I can tell you inside the atmosphere has been very tense indeed.
Amy, what can you tell us today?
Well, Tony, today was all about a field just a few hundred yards from here on Preston New Road and an application to frack for shale gas. One local resident described it as a David and Goliath battle with the people of Lancashire taking on the energy giant Quadrilla.
Scan picture here.
That's where his feet and his hands.
You don't think he was just a newborn, would you?
No.
Treasured keepsakes are all Lisa and Simon have left to remember their baby boy.
It's mad how you can still smell him on this cover, isn't it?
Alex's birth was delayed by 25 minutes by midwives who refused to get a doctor.
I just wasn't being listened to and the pain was just overbearing, and that's when I started to ask for a doctor, but the doctor never actually came.
Lisa says it was obvious the midwives and doctors were at loggerheads, and patients were the ones who suffered as a result. It soon became apparent that far more families had been affected by failings at Furness General Hospital than first thought. But instead of learning from its mistakes, the Trust covered them up and carried on.
I'd do anything to have her back, to change places, but I can't.
The loss of her little girl is something Chloe King must live with every day.
I wanted her to live. I wanted her to experience snow and splashing in puddles and just being a child and live.
That chance at life was taken away from Ava Jane when she was attacked by a dog. She was only 11 months old and was asleep at the home of her mum's then boyfriend, Lee Wright.
I didn't know what to do first. You try and scream for help and then you realise that there isn't any help that's going to come.